My name is Kelly Treat-Lisiaga, and I am the College and Career Readiness Specialist. And the coaches and I felt it's important that we get out a meeting or some information about the dual college credit courses and also the certification offerings that are going to be upcoming. I'm going to share my screen, and then I will begin the meeting. Please ask questions along the way, and also you may type questions as well. So our agenda today with my nice little spell check thingy will be to talk about the purpose of dual college credit and industry certifications, the T4, T5 dual college credit course offerings, dual college credit benefits, and the dual college credit requirements. I will also on another slide give information about the two that we for certain will be offering through our location, the industry certifications in the upcoming term. And forgive me, I see the chat. Let me check the chat before I move on. Yes, it's recording. That being said, I will now share my screen. And I'm just like, my mouse is just not working with me right now. Okay, so the purpose of dual college credit and industry certifications are that they fulfill graduation requirements the dual college credit fulfills graduation requirements. In addition to earning your core 40, you must earn credit in either 3 college courses or an industry certification. You may do both. If you have questions about these, please see your coach or myself. And the state wants to know, another purpose is that the state wants to know that a high school graduate is able to get a job and sustain the job and keep it, and or enables them to go to college. So that's the purpose, and it's a state requirement, but also an Excel requirement. Does anyone have any questions about that before I move along? Okay, brilliant. And my mouse is like, I think about to die, guys, sorry. So for term 4 and term 5, we will offer Criminology 101, which is Intro to Criminology. If you're interested in becoming an officer, a detective, working in the criminal justice system, this would be a good class for you. But it's also an interesting class. We will offer Education 101, which is Intro to Teaching. We will offer History 101, which is U.S. History. We will offer CLA or CLT, which is Certified Logistics Associate and Technician. More information about that later, but it relates to warehouse. Just know that you would need to take it both terms 4 and 5. We always offer Pharm Tech, and I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You work in a pharmacy setting. Certified Nursing Assistant will be term 5. And then also another college course that was on the bottom is English 111. There are other college courses that you can take, but please communicate your interest and needs to your coach individually. And then if you want to interject anytime. The benefit for our students, and I encourage anyone that's interested remotely interested in going to college to take it, is there's no cost to you. So you're taking a college course, and those of you that have been in a senior seminar know that there's a cost related to that for free. You will be taught by an Excel Center staff, so Hannah, myself, Andrea, and then an Excel teacher from another location. You leave with college credit, so you're going to go, regardless if you take college 10 years down the road, it doesn't matter, you have that on your record, and small class size. So you're not going to be in a classroom with 30 people even. You're going to be in a class with maybe sometimes 5, sometimes I have 1 student, sometimes you may have upwards of 20, but still a small class size. So that is a very good benefit. And again, if you have questions, you can type them or interject. Dual college credit requirements. This is not a conversation we've had much before, but you need to be recommended by your coach. You need to meet certain minimum academic requirements and have room in your schedule. This is a discussion you should have with a Hannah or a Kill, or if you've already been moved to my caseload, me. You will need to apply and get admitted for the dual college credit program. Once you communicate to your coach that you do want to do this, I will send you a link to apply. And from there, you will be admitted based on certain things such as GPA and your course status is like for your junior or senior. Once that happens, we are requiring the whole school, regardless of your GPA, to take the knowledge assessment. This can be taken at home. More on the knowledge assessment on another meeting, but just so you know that you will take it, and it's a no pressure assessment to see if you're college ready. If you're not, that system requires you to take a couple little assignments. It's not that big of a deal. Most people complete it in a day, and then you'll be deemed ready by Ivy Tech to take college courses. Communication skills are important for this, and that communication with your coaches or myself or Kelly with regards, and your teachers especially, with regards to absences. It is difficult to take any course remotely, right? And we do prefer in-person attendance, but now that we're with Zoom, because of COVID, if you can't attend the live Zoom, are you able to communicate to the teacher that you aren't able to attend? So keep in mind, if we do not withdraw you by a certain time, you would get the grade that you have when you left. And we don't know if you want to finish the course or not if you do not communicate with us. So there's no worries if you cannot, but we just need to know, right? So now's a good time to start communicating with your coaches about attendance and your teachers. Time to do the coursework at the college level. If you have a busy schedule, your son or daughter's in football, your son's in football and your daughter's in basketball, and you just don't have time, it may not be the right time for you at that time. We do not discourage it, but when you're thinking about doing the dual college credit, think about the time that it's going to take to do a college course. The work is obviously college level versus high school, so it's not like Odyssey Ware or any course of that nature. So please consider that.
Get the shoes off the bed.
And if someone could please put it on mute, whoever has someone speaking, please. Next, moving on to an industry certification, we will offer the Certified Logistic Associate or Technician this upcoming term. This will be 2 nights per week and for 2 terms. So for those of you that are wanting to graduate term 1, term 5, that's another conversation with your coach. This might be a good course for you because it's only 2 nights per week, in addition to some extra study time with regards to the coursework. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 7. This is a required attendance course. You will do also computer module work, but you can do that in your own time throughout the week. And you will be enabled to work as a manager in a warehouse. And this is a good starting pay. Now, this is like not that you're going to leave this course and be a manager right away, right? But once you get into the working at the Kehe's, for example, is a big company, and their average starting pay for a warehouse person is $15 an hour. So you can see where you combine a certification of this nature plus experience that would enable you to move up to management one day once you have the experience. We will offer CNA for term 5 in person. Hopefully that is COVID permitting, of course. That average class time is 5 weeks. There is a big time and attendance commitment for these 2 weeks. For these weeks, forgive me when I say 2, I meant those are 2 requirements. So as you may or may not know, that is a certified nursing assistant. And most people will work in a nursing home environment, but it does enable you to do other careers in the medical field. If you want to be a registered nurse, if you want to be anything with regards to the medical field, but in particular a registered nurse, this is a good course. We have a limit. We have to have a minimum of 6 and a limit of 10, so it is a very competitive spot. If you are interested in CNA, please contact your coach today. We are trying to reserve, well, we already have the teacher reserved, but we want to ensure we have enough people. So please let us know. And then in addition to that, start communicating with your coach about your schedule and needs. We are not offering these as of yet, but these are more for my term 1 graduates of next year. We are going to offer horticulture. We will have the ability to offer QuickBooks. So my people that want to be an entrepreneur or own a business or work in a business, maybe work in accounting, this would be a good certification course for you. We also have the option to dual enroll students at Ivy Tech for industry certifications. This is a wonderful thing that is starting this school year, but it is so fresh and new that you do need to speak to your coach. And then also it's so new that you would also need to speak to me so we can see if they offer that program for you. If this is an option and you're able to work your schedule where you can attend in person at Ivy Tech plus us, then please speak to your coach as soon as possible. I do not have anything else at this time, but I want to see if Hannah does, and then I'll open the floor for questions.
You know me, I always got something to say. Okay, so Kelly T did a great job about saying all of the things I'm about to say to you, but I'm going to stress this again because as a coach, this is something that I see students, especially right now, continuing to struggle with, okay? So first thing, I know we're in COVID times. It's weird. We're all stressed out. I'm not saying that to be condescending. I'm saying that because we all feel it. Okay. Now, what that means for these certifications, particularly, also the dual credit, but I want to focus a little bit more on the certifications for a moment, is it's not going to impact attendance, right? These certifications are being taught by folks from the outside who are coming in to teach you. Yes, they're compensated for their time, but this is something that Kelly T has worked really, really hard to get all of these certifications that we're offering available to you guys so we can extend what we're able to do and offer for you before you graduate from us. So unlike some of your traditional courses you've been in for the past couple of terms in this COVID model, attendance is like mandatory for those, okay? Now with the dual credit courses, you know, those are taught by Excel Center instructors. There's a little bit more flexibility with that. Being one of those instructors, I'm happy to speak a little bit more freely about that. But with the distance learning courses like English 111, those are not taught by instructors in our building. Their attendance requirements may differ from ours. So you need to be in a position where you can be open and honest about your ability for attendance, okay? I am happy to give most anyone when they're ready a shot at whatever they want, right? Now there are certain circumstances that may vary, but if you're ready and you're showing that progress, absolutely, let's talk about that, okay? But if you're one of the students who are kind of on the cusp with your attendance, you kind of work at a pace that maybe is not being attending every class as often as you should be, I'm going to be honest about struggling in these courses because these are challenging courses, okay? Even the certifications are challenging. Now, I know I can say all that till I'm blue in the face, but I see faces here of students who have taken dual credit courses, and I guarantee you that they're probably shaking their heads and nodding with what I'm saying, okay? And if anyone has any experience in any certification or dual credit course, please feel free to share at the end of this presentation, because I think sometimes it's more meaningful coming directly from you guys, okay? But yeah, that's just my little spiel. Attendance is important. And really at the end of the day, when you're getting to this point with us, what this is meant to do is prepare you for the next step, right? If we're not focusing as much on attendance and focusing as much as being timely in your efforts, then we're not really preparing for the next step quite as much as maybe we could, right? It's kind of like showing up to a job. You can't just tell your boss, hey, I'm not going to be there tomorrow, like right when you leave the day before, right? You have to ask, you have to communicate, and you have to be open to what your boss may say in return, right? So we're just trying to prepare you for that step in case maybe you've never had one of those types of jobs before. Maybe you've never thought you would experience what a college course was like. So I know with my class, with Kelly's class for sure, we mimic those classes as closely as we can to an online college course, because I don't want you to get any curveballs when you get to that point, okay?
And we're required to.
So, well, yeah, and we're required to, obviously, it's an Ivy Tech level course, but it's going to be more intensive, okay? And we want to just be as honest and transparent as we can about that as we can.
So I didn't create, thank you, Hannah. I didn't create, and then Akil, if you want to add anything. I didn't create a slide that says next steps, but your next steps will be to communicate to your coach that this is an interest of yours. They'll know whether or not you're ready academically and also like with the attendance thing. And and then also with that respect, then you will need to apply. I will get your name from your coach, and then I will send you the application. You will need to complete that application. And then next week, we will take the knowledge assessments. If you are too busy next week, it's an off week and you're like, I'm done, I need a break, that's fine, okay? But it will need to be done soon, as soon as we can in the first week of the next term. Do I have any questions at this time?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
My question is about the QuickBooks.
Okay.
So the QuickBook, is that for next year?
Potentially. We have someone training right now to teach it, Tommy, but we are not ready to teach it. It would be based on student interest. So if, say, 10 students want that course and I can offer it term 5, then we'll offer it term 5. If not, it'll be term 1 of next year. And that's, again, we're not going to offer it unless we have students interested in it, right? So,
I'm interested in it.
okay, well, I'll take your name down, okay? Thank you, Tommy. That's a good question. Does anyone else have a question? Going once, twice?
I missed the first part
Okay,
of all
we did
this.
record it, and Miss Kelly, Kelly Hannon, I'm Kelly too, will post that on Facebook for you to watch. But-
Yeah, I
or-
will share this out. I will share this out afterwards, everybody.
Yeah. And then if you want to, like, once I quit recording, if you want to ask questions, you can ask questions.
I
Let's
also
see the first part.
wanted to ask, like, if those were the only full credits that you had available.
Holly, if it's Holly speaking, forgive me, because that's the name showing, but I couldn't hear you. Can you either put the phone to closer to you or speak up, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes.
Are those the only dual credits like that you're offering?
No, there are other ones from other schools, but they're not finalized yet. So if you speak to your coach, they'll know soon. There's
Okay.
usually like English 111 and Math 136. So you would have needed to finish Algebra 2 with that. Business 101, I think, is being offered next term. And it's not a big list, but there's like 4 or 5 others you can take.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Yes, who Jennifer, yes, talk to your coach about the CNA class. Yes, that'll be term 5, Jennifer. And if you have other questions about it, go ahead and ask, but definitely we will offer that term 5 on campus if we get a minimum of 6 students.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good question.
I got a question.
Yes, Crystal.
Who do I talk to about taking the criminology, and do I need to, like, is it an application for that too?
Good question. You'll talk to Akil about that. And then you've already completed the application, so you're good.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate everyone's time. I'm open at any time to answer questions about this. And so what term does the farm class start? Good question, Cassandra. That starts this is term 3, right? Term 4. So the first week in January 25th, it'll start that week. I don't know what day, but. And for that, again, see your coach, and then I'll forward your name to the teacher for that course. And keep in mind, with regards to the certifications, some of these may not be your dream job. They may not lead to something right away, but they are a career starter that gets you in a field or industry that you like, and then you can build up from there. Places like IU Health offer tuition assistance. So maybe you're not, maybe you don't want to be a CNA, but you train as a CNA, you get a job at the hospital, and they have programs that will help you move forward. Yes, Vernal, I'm glad to see you here. We do have IT programs. Forgive me, I did forget to add that we will offer IT fundamentals next term. And again, Vernal, when you're ready for that, your coach will know and tell you about that. The thing with IT is that teacher teaches Monday through Thursday. And for the full period, I think it's usually 3rd period. And you do need to attend that course.
And sorry, Kelly, what I'd say about some of the certifications, like the farm tech and the IT that people have had questions about specifically, those two traditionally we've been able to offer pretty regularly. So if it's something that you feel like you have to like jump on like right now, you may not be ready for that. So if you have a meeting with your coach, if it's me or Akil, and we're kind of like trying to take like just a step and to focus on some more of the like core 40 classes, it's not because we don't want you to do that certification. You just may need a little bit more time to get ready for that type of coursework, since it is a little bit more intensive. Okay.
Right. The goal is the more you communicate with your coach, the better about what you want, because then they're going to communicate with me and they're going to say, hey, we need this course for our students. And keep in mind with the dual, with our partnership with Ivy Tech, that if there's something you don't see, or like, these people are not offering anything I like, I'm not saying Ivy Tech will have it, but I can speak to them and see if there's a program that is, that works with our program and that meets your interests and needs. Yes, yes, you are. You are allowed. I have a question, and the person asked if you're allowed to do certs while working on our classes. You are. Now that typically does happen more toward the end. So like in your last 2 terms-ish. And then sometimes depending on the student, if I need a minimum of 6 and you're the 6th person, you'll get to get in early if you meet the academic requirements. And that's another reason why we're requiring students to take the knowledge assessment regardless of their GPA, so that we know that you are able to handle the reading that's required and the math that's required for whichever course we're taking. Okay.
Where do we take the assessment at?
You can take it at home or here.
Does it just get emailed or?
I will email it. Once you apply, once you get your C number from Ivy Tech, and I'll send out a mass email to the names that are interested. Once I get your C number, I'll send you the link and the information on how to log in. It doesn't take long. I think the assessment max takes an hour. It also is student, depends on the student. I would take my time with it. And then you have to score a minimum of 70 in reading to be considered for like Hannah's class, my class, or Andrea's, or the English. And then if you were interested in the math, again, you have to finish Algebra 2 first, but you have to score a minimum of 90 on the math section. Right now, we're having students only take the reading, as we don't have anyone, we've only had 1 student or 2 take the math, the college level math.
And we just want to make sure we prepare you adequately for that coursework. We're not doing you any favors if you've taken like English 2 and then we throw you into a college level course, because you need a little bit of extra like building up those skills, because there's a lot of writing in these classes. So just this is something I said to a student yesterday, just trust us, okay? We're doing everything with your best interest in mind and like a scheduling aspect. So if you have these interests and you express them to us, trust us in getting you there at the right time whenever you're ready for it, okay? And that's an open conversation and we can continue to have it. But I know it can seem kind of confusing at times. So if you're ever confused about like the timeline of that, that's what we're here to talk about, okay?
And then I'll also say this, like, you're never going to bug us with regards to college and career, you're never going to bug me too much. Now, usually I'll teach from 9 to noon on any given week, but I answer my texts in between classes. So don't be shy to ask. You should always go to your coach first as far as anything goes, but with respect to college and career, if you just have a random question, do not hesitate to reach out and to me, and then during the business day, my coaches, meaning our coaches, they're not mine.
So what do we have to
these are
do
my
to
friends,
get
that's why
the C number?
Sorry?
What do we have to do to get the C number?
The
that you
C
need?
number, you're going to apply to Ivy Tech. There's a new, please wait for our application. There's a new process, okay? You need to apply for dual college credit at Ivy Tech. That is an application that I have. It's not going to be online. We will send that application to you. The C number will come in about average 3 business days, but it could take up to 5. And at that time, once you have that, then I'll be able to send you the link to the knowledge assessment.
Okay.
And the cool thing, there's a new process, and I'll have another meeting about this, but there's a cool new process to where you guys actually, once you're ready, you get the approval through your coach that online you'll select the course that you want to enroll in. And it's pretty cool. So, but it's so brand new. They're working out the kinks with the registration process. So just have patience with us on that, please. So you guys are asking great questions, and unfortunately I haven't met many of you, but I just know that I hope that we give you what you need. And then again, don't be afraid to ask, because you never know what we could seek out in the future to have on campus for you while you're a student, though, of course. Akil, anything? Okay. Where did the, okay, sorry. Someone asked about Farm Tech and the hours and days. I only read the front. Okay, I do want to work in healthcare, so it's a good certification. Do you know what? Okay. So the hours for farm tech, I forget at the moment, forgive me, but I think it's usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, and it's about 3 hours. It's, I ask your coach and give your coach your name, and I will send that information to you. It is a good cert.
And sometimes Saturdays. So for Farm Tech, remember Katie also meets people on Saturday mornings. So you will be committing part of a weekend sometimes.
Right. Yes. And it's rather, if you're not used to attending a class with us and like attending every day, this is very much, again, an attendance required class, and the content is very intense. And I'm not just, it's a good class. We have an excellent teacher. You can ask anyone that's taken it. But it's intense, meaning the time and to study. So, but if you're ready and you're like 8 weeks, it's an 8-week course, you're working hard. Like Hannah said, we have COVID. It's definitely worth your time if you want to be in the medical field. Like the person who wrote that question had a good question about that.
And
So, thanks,
also,
Akil.
we also spoke with a student who is getting ready to take her exam, her national exam, and she's done fairly well in the coursework. And we asked her if she would be willing to maybe like host a Zoom with us to talk to students who are interested in the farm tech certification, to give you her perspective, because she is someone who has done well in the course in terms of the coursework, but she also is expressing that it's a lot. So I think that perspective will also help you kind of determine in terms of like what to expect for that class. I think anybody who wants to do the farm tech, it's a great certification, and there's jobs like all the time for pharmacy technicians. We just definitely want to give you as much exposure to what to expect beforehand.
And I'll say that also, we as the Excel Center, not necessarily Bloomington locale, we have a relationship like Kroger. They're consistently hiring, and we can hook you up with the connect with that. Yes, I can let Hannah know. It starts on this starts the week of the 25th. Again, I forget the day, and there was an email. She changes stuff sometimes from term to term, like with what time or the requirements, like the Saturday requirements. So I will let her know, and she will forward you the info for that.
Deja, I already have you down for next term for farm tech anyways. So we're getting the list together, and we'll send everybody that information. Okay.
Okay, I
Hannah.
wasn't sure. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Hannah.
Yes.
So I really am wanting to take that QuickBooks.
Okay, we don't have it ready right now, so it may not be until next school year. So we'll just have to hold off on that for a little bit, but I'll mark it down that you're interested, okay?
All right, because that class I really am interested in.
Okay, I'll make sure to put that in my notes, okay? And then whenever we get the instructor trained, we can go from there and start scheduling people, okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're at about time allotted for this. Does anyone, and I'll answer questions forever. But do we have any other questions?
Yes, I have one for Hannah.
Sure.
Oh, so popular. What's up?
So Hannah, we have a Zoom meeting, correct, at 1:30?
We sure do. We can push it up to 1 if you're available.
Yes, let's do that. But I have more questions about this too that I wanted to talk to you about. So
Yep. Let's meet at 1 and we'll chat, okay?
okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Going
Don't ask me to do a
once.
backflip because I can't.
Now I'll lose 30 pounds and do a
Can you
round off.
try though?
Hey, Hannah,
Yes.
do you know what? I really am excited about next year. I just want to thank you guys so much for that break.
You're welcome. Sometimes we just need a break, right?
Right.
I was so excited to see your face on here today, Tommy. So I'm glad that you're still sticking with us, and everybody needs a breather every now and then.
Right. Amen on that, sister.
I have
I'm
a
gonna-
question.
Okay, go ahead, ask, sorry.
Just really quick, I'm sorry. I had just wanted to know, like, for pharmacy technician, was it in person or was that also Zoom? Because I had wanted to know if like daycare would be available for any of the certifications.
Good question.
So it's over Zoom, but if that's something that you're needing, we can talk about that as a team. Now Saturday is a whole, kind of a different.
I mean,
thing,
yeah, I know Saturdays.
But
Okay.
yeah, if that's something you want to be, just shoot me a text. And if you'd rather take it here virtually, it would be virtual either way. But if you'd rather be in the building, that's something that we can for sure work on. We
Okay.
just need to plan that out.
Okay.
We miss having kids, so bring them. Miss Brittany and Miss Grace and Miss Kate are sitting here twiddling their thumbs, just trying to keep busy. So we would love
Okay.
to have some kiddos back
I'll bring them.
anytime.
Hey, Hannah,
Yes.
it looks like, do you remember that we talked about biology? Biology
Yes, well, I'm gonna
101.
Yeah.
I'm interested now in trying to get my core 40 in that.
Okay. We'll talk about that for sure.
Yes, so for any individual questions, guys, let's go ahead and make an appointment with your coaches. And if you have any general questions about like any of the courses in the interim, does anyone have any general questions about the course offerings or requirements? Okay. Well, I really, really, really appreciate everyone coming today. Look for more information coming out from us and have a great week. I'm going to hit stop record and then you can still ask questions after that. I just wanted to hit stop record.